My name is Jesse Reichler. I'm a computer programmer at donationcoder.com and one half of the Co-op for Two YouTube channel team. We do board game playthroughs and reviews. And in this series, I'm talking about sort of behind the scenes editing of our videos and some of the tools we use, and in particular some of the Adobe extensions that I've written to help us do editing, which are or will be available open source. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the CFT extension, which is probably the most idiosyncratic and least useful out of the box probably for you, but I'll just go over it, and some of the features you may find useful and some you might need to tweak and customize for your own use. But here I am. I've opened up the options so you can take a look at them. I've got a video in here that I'm just playing around with editing. So in this extension, it's just a bunch of tiny little features that I use frequently, and they don't do all that much. But okay, so here's the first one. It's called Save As Version. You can see the name of this file I have is Premiere Extension Multicam A5. I tend to label every time I make a change or substantial change, I'll increase this version A6, A7, A8, and then occasionally change to B1, B2, so that I keep all the old versions. So this button just, you'll see I'll press it here. You can see all it's done is it increased the version number from A5 to A6. It's actually put the old A5 into this old junk subdirectory, and it's made sure that the A6 is loaded into Adobe Premiere recent file list, so it'll be available from the home screen. So just an easy way to pop up the version and keep everything clean by moving the old one into an old subdirectory. Here's another option that I use quite a bit. Save thumbnail. So if you're at some scene, you can click this button here, Save Thumbnail, and you can see what it does is it creates a thumbnail subdirectory and then exports the current image as a thumbnail. I'll bring it up here so you can see it. Created the thumbnail directory, created a file with the name of the project that I'm working on, plus a timestamp, and if we opened it up, you could see here's the exported image as a full-scale uncompressed PNG file. So it's useful when you're making thumbnails to take a snapshot. Adobe has its own built-in function for taking a snapshot, which is here, but it requires you to rename it based on the project and change the directory, whatever. So this is just a nice way to quickly save a thumbnail of your current image. I've also got a button that quickly exports to YouTube in a YouTube format. It basically takes this preset name, which you could save your own custom preset names. If I click this, it'll open Media Encoder and start encoding this with these options. It'll either auto start encoding. You can tell it to overwrite the existing video. You can append the sequence name. Here it's main sequence. In fact, let me just close some of these other panels here so you can see. So if you want, it'll add the main sequence to the file name and auto save a thumbnail of where you currently are. Now, one of the reasons I find this useful is that when you do the normal Adobe Premiere way of saying export media, what happens is that it defaults naming the file the name of the sequence, and it often seems to forget the format that I want to save in. But this is the one that really bothers me. The output file name and output directory seem to get reset and named in unhelpful ways. So this feature here, this export video now, will actually give it the name of the file, project file name, and again, optionally add the sequence name. This makes it very easy for me to keep track of when I'm working on this version of this edit. I know the exported MPEG for YouTube will have this name .mpeg, whatever, and it will always go with my preferred YouTube export format. All right, that's the export video. Another feature which actually does quite a bit of work, but probably is not going to be all that useful to you, is this split insert. And I'll show you how that works. In my project, I have this intro video. So let's load it in and play it so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so it's just a little introduction video that I used, stolen basically from The Odd Couple, and it's got what I tend to think of as this 1970s style intro where I like it to freeze frame on something and then have this overlaid semi-transparent on top of some video. So how does this, what does this extension do here? If you see, what I do is I go to a place where I want the freeze frame and intro to come in. So, I'm Jesse, I'm here with Greg.
Thanks for having me on the channel.
What are we doing?
Unboxing of
Okay, so let's say I want it to freeze here and then have the intro come in. So I'd go to where I want it. In fact, let me get, I guess. All right, leave it. All right, let's say this is where we wanted the intro to come in. Where did I want it? Here. Okay. All right. So we go to the extension and we say split insert intro. Now look over here and you'll see what's going to happen. Oh, didn't like that. Okay. Sometimes the thumbnail doesn't quite work, but it worked. It just complained a bit. Okay, so what you'll see is, if we zoom in, the extension now has created all this stuff here. Okay, so what has it done? You'll see it's gonna freeze frame where we told it and then do the intro.
Marvel United.
Marvel United. I'm just watching this with you so we can see the end. Okay, so what has it done? It's made a cut where I told it to do the split intro. Then it's added a hold frame, which is what this pink section is. It's a hold frame where we told it. So it freeze framed there. Then it applied an effect to sort of make some graininess here. Then it took the intro, it cut the intro, it cut this little semi-transparent part of the intro based on a marker in the intro file, and then added the introduction audio. Then it goes back to the introduction with no transparency, and then it has a little dip to black before it comes back into the video. So that's just my little fun way of having a, what I call a, what do I call it? A split insert intro. All right, what else have we got in this sort of catch-all little extension here? We've got some audio processing. In the summer, I tend to run the air conditioner occasionally, so I've just had two presets here to run two sound reduction presets on the audio tracks. That's what this will do. Okay, sensor bleep, that's the last one to show you, and I think I marked where we might need a sensor bleep. Was it here?
Who the fuck knows?
Okay, so what we want here, so that we don't have anything upsetting to sensitive viewers, is we want to bleep that out. So you basically move your time head to where you want to bleep. You click this button here, sensor bleep. Okay, and it does a couple of things. Let's zoom in here and see what it has done. Okay, the first thing it's done is it's dropped the audio volume down at that point. Okay. Okay, looks like I might have made it come a little too late. See if we can undo this. I'm gonna undo this manually since it looks like Adobe doesn't want to undo it for me. I'm gonna turn off the timeline tracking. Okay. All right, let's try again.
That's it. Fuck no.
Let's go. I can see this is where the cursor is.
Fuck
Okay,
no.
so I was a little late here. Okay, let's go back. Let's try it again. Censor bleep. Okay, so you can see the options here is how far back to start dropping volume, how far forward after the location is to drop. Okay, then it inserts an Adobe After Effects Moger here, which is this little censored text, which has a beep with it. And what you would do here is you'd select this, then you'd go here and you'd move it somewhere like this. And now let's look at what that's like.
Who the is that? That's it.
And you could obviously shorten that or do whatever you want and mess with this volume if you want. So there you go. That's all it does. It drops the volume, adds this little graphic effect and the beep, which is all part of this one thing, and makes it easy to censor out bad words. And then what have we got? Another button here that just opens the folder so you can find the files that you're working on in this project a little more easily. And there you have it, the CFT Adobe Premiere extension. Again, this is probably of all the extensions, it's the one that is going to be least useful. It's kind of a smorgasbord of little things, and some of which are going to be very specific to us. But maybe you'll find something in there that's useful to you. And I'll see you next time.